Hey, can you tell me Can you tell me about the soccer match right now? How exactly is it going on, and who won yesterday? That's it. I just do that, and then it's gonna search it for me, and it's just giving it this to me, right? So that's it. So what I'm doing it is I kind of prompted it, but I didn't prompt it using hand, right? I didn't type it down. I just kind of vibed, and I just gave it that prompt. So this is what we would be taking. This concept is what we'll be taking, and then we'll be building an application as well. Guys, that's literally what vibe coding is. That's all. You can just be chilling. You just, you can just listen to your favorite music. You just chill, and then, you can just give it a prompt. Hey, build me a website. Okay, change this. I change that. You know what? Add my LinkedIn in it. That's it. Guys, you're literally just vibing and you are doing that, right? That's all. Right? Now I hope you guys all understand this, right? Guys, give me a yes in the chat if you all understand what vibe coding means now. Right? Even if it's no, it's okay. We'll still be diving into it. I'll still be showing you how to do it. Okay, I see a lot more yeses now in the chat. Yeah. Okay, even if it's a little bit, that's okay. We'll be getting into the real, hands-on, and you'll understand it. Okay? Yeah, super simple, exactly. It's, kind of understand it. Okay. Perfect. Now, alright. Now, let's dive into this, guys, okay? The adoption rate, right? How has the adoption rate been? So, 44% of developers now use AI coding tools every single day, right? Every single day, developers are using these AI coding tools, right? In 2022, 0% of the developer crowd was actually using these tools. 2024, 20%, 2025, 44, and now it's actually even more than this, right? A lot more people, a lot more developers are adopting AI coding tools. And let me give you a fun fact. A lot more non-developers and non-coders who haven't written a single line of code are also adopting these AI coding tools, right? And I'll actually give you a very real example. And so my mom's actually a teacher, right? So she's a teacher and she takes tuitions and she wants to build out like lesson plans. And even she was able to build out her own lesson plan that she's able to, share with the, share with her learners, and she's able to, build out her own application. She doesn't have to rely on anybody. So that is the future we are all heading towards, guys. If you need an application built, boom, you can build it just with the vibes. All right. Now, so there is benchmark, right? So how did these AI coding tools get so good? And they were kind of, put into this a test, right? It was put into a test, and that test is called a SWE benchmark, or it's called a software engineering benchmark, right? SWE, software engineering benchmark, and that's the real coding test. So think of it as like a coding test, which all these different AI models are put into, and the AI industry measures it on a real coding ability. It gives them like challenges and tests, and not mathematics, and also asks it to solve these bugs as well from a real project, right? So that's what this benchmark is. And they kind of put a benchmark, and then in 2023, these models only scored 4.4, right? They only scored 4.4. In 2024, they were, drastically good, but they weren't good enough to, refactor an entire code base, right? So that's the thing right here, right? So 2025 and 2026, 80, they are able to score 80 on the entire coding benchmark. And now, guys, the new model that actually released, GPT 5.6 Soul Max, right? It's actually able to score a lot more than this, which is 82. Now, as you can see, even a slight jump here means it can do a lot more in development, right? So that's basically what this benchmark is. And it's important to understand this benchmark because You'll because the models are measured this way, you'll just understand it, right? That's why. So this jump actually made coding work, right? Without this drastic jump, AI would have just been, a helper to, kind of help you solve your exams or questions. That's all, and not coding. So that's the thing. Now, let's dive into the next part. And I would want to go to my whiteboard here to explain you guys a little bit. But here's what happened, right? How did AI just go from a very simple autocomplete to an agent, right? It went from an autocomplete to an agent. And before 2025, AI only used to understand the next line, right? You were the driver. You were waiting for all the functions. But then 2025 and beyond, and all of these, and by myself, I mean, I don't know a lot of these as well. Okay, someone mentions MERN stack, right? MERN stack, or all these things, MERN, MERN stack, all of that, right? So yeah, C++, C++, all of those, okay? All of these models, all of these, understanding of, all these, coding libraries, right? Everything also the LLM knows, because that is also world's knowledge, right? It's world's knowledge. Okay, that is C sharp. Okay, I'm not okay. Maybe I'm not sure. Maybe this is C sharp. Okay, let me correct that. Because I'm a non-coder, I wouldn't really know that. So let me just correct it. Yeah, I hope that is correct though. But as a non-coder, I wouldn't know. But we can still kind of figure it out. All right. Is this good, guys? All the coders in the chat. Is this correct though? I honestly thought they were the same thing. But thank you for correcting. All right. So what you're gonna see is, without even understanding any of this, we can still be able to build something out, right? So does that make sense, guys? Does that make sense? The world's knowledge, it does not only consist of, twinkle, twinkle, little star, it also consists of all these coding languages as well, right? So that is why if I go to ChatGPT and then I ask it, hey, can you write me a very simple Python script to automate my social media posts? Do you see that? It's giving us the entire Python script for this, right? This is what I mean by the SWE benchmark, guys. The benchmark, the coding languages have been doing so good. That's why it's able to give us this Python script as well, right? Now what we are going to do next in the phase would actually be, when we get into the building phase, we would be vibe coding, where the tool would write multiple of these Python scripts, compile them together, and build out a platform for us, right? So that's basically what it is, guys, right? Now you can see that there was a jump that just happened, right? There was a jump that happened where it just went from something like twinkle, twinkle, filling those blanks, and then it went to writing these scripts, right? This is the major jump that happened, that is letting us, build all of these cool stuff. And why though? Why? Because, guys, think of it, all these languages, they are the building blocks of the internet, right? They're the building blocks of internet. You previously had to, know how to use these building blocks of internet, then to build out your own, own stuff, in your own in your own terms. But the best part now is, you don't even have to know this, but you can still build it. Guys, that's the ultimate form of leverage that has not been, possible before, right? That's not genuinely not been possible before just 2 years ago. And guys, I'm actually telling you, okay? So let me just show you my website, okay? My website, okay? This is my website. It's just at harshit.com. And guys, this website is something that I have completely vibe coded myself, right? And just 2 years ago, I would have had to, go to a designer. I would have, I would have asked to, give them all these pointers that, hey, I want it in a dark mode. I want all, to have all my pictures. Let's have all my credentials and all of that, right? And that's the thing. I had to do that before, but now it can do it by itself, right? So now I hope that makes sense, guys. Guys, is this clear to you now? Is this clear to you now on how we just went from a very simple next word predictor to an agent and beyond? Clear, guys? Clear? All right, I know some of you guys in the chat say it's kind of going a little slow. Guys, trust me, the pace, we're going to catch up, and end of the session, I'm telling you, we'll have a complete end-to-end product working for us, okay? But fundamentals, definitely important, guys, because I wish I had this presentation when I first started. That is the only reason I'm doing it. Okay. Perfect. All right, guys. Perfect. Now, let's proceed, okay? Let's proceed. Now, what does this actually mean for you and I, right? What does this mean for us? That means building a software is no longer a technical skill, right? It's no longer a technical skill. It's a communication skill, right, guys? If you can see it here, you can go ahead and build it, right? You can do that. If you have the idea in your head, you communicate with your AI and you can build it. And trust me, I went to this, I went to this event, and in that event, there was this guy who actually asked me, right? He was like, "Hey, Harshit, what do you think the best coding language in the world is?" Right? He asked me, "What's the best coding language in the world?" Guys, can you type it in? What's the best coding language do you guys think? What's the best coding language in the world, guys? Whatever you guys think, can you type it in? All right. Okay. I do see a lot of you guys mentioning AI, Python, C, okay, C++, okay. I see a couple of you guys, Chetan Chowdhury, Anisha Rathi, you guys say something called as communication, right? That's it. If you can communicate, okay, Oliver is also correct, your voice. If you can communicate, you can build the idea, and that's the best coding language. That's all, guys. It's just English. And now it's also, more than, any languages right now. It's just communication. Oscar, you're correct. It's your language, whatever you think of it, right? That's basically it. That's all. Right? So that's how it is. Now, exactly, clarity of thought. Amazing. Sri Lakshmi also says clarity of thought. Very good. Very, very good. It can be clarity of thought as well. Right? Exactly. If you can communicate well, if you have the idea, put it out there, it can pick it up and it can start doing it. Okay, Guru is right. Start building, bro. Stop with the presentation. Start building. Guru, trust me, we will start building, but let's understand the fundamentals, right? Guys, I'm telling you, this is gonna save you a lot of tokens, right? It's gonna save you a ton of tokens, right? So if you have that clarity, everything else will fall in place. Okay, now guys, okay, here, what's the anatomy of an application, right? What's the anatomy of an application? So every app has 3 layers, right? Every app has 3 layers. Guys, the first one is front end, second is back end, and the third one is database. Guys, hold this idea in your head for the rest of your life. Every app you have ever seen has been built on these 3 layers itself. Front end, back end, and database. That's it. Front end, back end, database. Guys, once again, front end, back end, and database. These are the 3 layers which are used to build any kind of an application. Now, what exactly is the front end? I think you guys already know about it. Okay, let me see. Aditya says he knows front end only. That's okay, Aditya. Even if you just know front end, we can still do it. And you are correct, Saurabh. It's the UI, right? So a front end is basically the UI. I mean, guys, nothing but let's say if you're on, let's say Zomato, right? If you're on Zomato, if you wanna, buy something, what you're seeing here, right? What you're seeing here, this. Okay, now I wanna have like biryani. Damn, guys. Okay. Now whatever you're seeing here is the front end, right? That's the front end part, the visual part, right? That's basically what it is. When someone says your app looks good, it's clean, they're talking about the front end. And now, what's the back end, right? Back end. So what's the back end? What happens after you click order, right? What happens after you click or you tap on order, or when you click on find restaurant, or you search for something? That is the backend. Guys, front end is just the 20%, which is what the users see, right? But underneath that, there is a lot more, which is the backend. And the backend is what, or it runs the entire thing. Because imagine, right? A software like Zomato has just been built once, but then it's able to handle thousands of clicks, thousands and hundred thousands of clicks on the same button continuously, right? How is that possible? It's all possible because of the backend itself, right? The scalability of the backend, when people say, right, it's all that, right? So that's basically what it is. And all of this happens on a server you cannot see. So it's the brain of the application, which is invisible, but it's essential and it's always running. If the backend shuts down, your app shuts down, right? That's the thing. For example, finding a restaurant, checking if they're open, assigning a rider, calculating the delivery time. All of this is happening in the backend itself, right? So I hope that clarifies what a backend is. And of course, we would be building an application as well in our build phase where we'd be touching upon all of these. Okay. Next, right here, let's dive into what a database is, right? What's a database, right? What the app remembers, right? Meaning you can close any app. If you open it again tomorrow, your past data is still there, right? It's still there. For example, let's say I have, this Excalibur, all these nodes, guys, okay? There are so many nodes on this. And if I just cancel this out, and if I just open that's basically how it is, right? That's how the database works. And let's say if you are placing an order. If you're placing an order, it says, okay, Arav, order number 1024, status is delivered. Mira, order number 1025, the status is still on the way. Right? So all of these, do you see this, guys? It's like in form of a table, right? In form of a table. That's how it is. So that memory lives inside the database. It's like a large organized table of everything the app needs to remember. All right? Okay. Now, guys, let me confirm. Guys, is this completely clear? All three layers, front build something as well, and you guys will understand everything. All the dots will start connecting. Perfect. Let's go build. Okay. The funniest thing that I got, okay, the funniest thing that I got, and I want to show this to you guys. It's so funny, Kaiser, that you actually sent this. Okay, guys, Kaiser sent this. Let's build. Okay, it's like Kaiser is prompting me. Can you just go build? Guys, I know you all want to go build, right? I know that. I definitely know that. But guys, let's process, guys. Okay, that's all. Okay, now, guys, there's an important thing, right? There's an important thing I also want you to understand. It's called what an API is, right? An API, guys, and if for non-coders, when we are kind of just starting out, I used to hear my friends when they say, okay, API this, okay, API that, right? I was like, okay, damn, these guys are smart. What are they doing, guys? All that an API is an application programming interface. Okay, what does that mean? Application programming interface, guys. You know what I think? I think all these geeks, they kind of made all these names so complicated, just so that we feel intimidated, right? I think that's what happened, and you do not get intimidated by any of these wordings, okay? Because everything we can understand it, we can do that, okay? Okay, Ahmed is like, yeah, that API thing, right? So this is another concept we'll understand, right? So what is this thing, right? What is this thing? Correct. Pranita, you are absolutely correct. It is a bridge between tools, right? All right. So now, as you can see, the key that allows different softwares to communicate with each other. That's what an API key is, right? A key that connects you with different softwares and lets it communicate with each other is what an API key is. Right? Now, as you can see, this is best analogy which we can give you. And they work very similar to a waiter in a restaurant, okay? The way it does is, so the end user, you see that, guys? The end user is very similar to the end customer, right? So you are you're the restaurant, and then you just want to order something, right? You want to order something. The waiter comes in, he takes your order, and then he takes that order to the chef, the kitchen. They prepare the order, and the waiter brings it back to the end customer. That's exactly how an API key functions as well, right? An end user is sitting there. If he requests something, if he's using the application, he's requesting that info back in the, and then it goes ahead and takes it to the entire backend, right? That's exactly how it works. And here's how it works, guys. Okay, let me just give you an example, right? We have understood our AI, right? We've understood our AI or an LLM. Let me just call it our AI, right? Now it is able to do all of this. Our LLM or our AI is able to connect to, let's say, Instagram, right? It's able to connect to WhatsApp. It's able to connect to Stripe, like payment gateway. It's able to let's say connect to Supabase, or all whatever these tools are, right? It's able to connect with all of these. And how is it able to do that? It's all because of API key itself, guys. Okay, and API key is not like a one thing that it's not like a one-stop shop. And API key, it's not like a one-stop shop, right? So Instagram would have their own API, WhatsApp would have their own API, Stripe would have their own API, Supabase would have their own API. Whatever these tools are, they would all have their own API. Just the way as each restaurant has their own waiter, the same way each of these have their own API key as well, right? So that's how these AI tools communicate with them. That's how it is, right? Now, there's also an important thing right here, which is called authentication, right? Authentication. What does that mean? So let's say if I just go to LinkedIn, and if I just type my URL in, see, do you see this? There's a join LinkedIn. Of course, you've seen this thing. That's basically called authentication. I have to authenticate that I am Harshit myself, so that I can access my own account. Guys, and trust me, we would be building an authentication layer also. When we get into the build process, we will be building a very similar kind of a thing, like our own authentication thing, where we can continue with Google and then log in, right? So we would be doing that as well, right? So that's a very important thing, I would say, guys. Okay, so that's one. Now that we understood, yeah, right? So that's how it is. And in vibe coding, every app actually it has this user account, right? And it uses tools like Supabase Auth, right? It uses the tools like Supabase to handle all of this. You've seen this signups already. It's like login, sign up flow, forgot password, or Google sign in, all of these, right? That's basically what authentication, authorizing if you are the exact person to go ahead and use it. That's one. Okay, perfect. Now, hosting. There's also hosting here as well, right? So where is your app actually hosted? Where does it live on the internet, right? So your code has to live somewhere, right? Your code has to live somewhere so that anyone can just go ahead and use your application, right? Anyone on the internet can use your app. Guys, in 2015, you had to rent out a server. You had to configure it yourself, right? You had to do all of this. But in 2026, platforms like Vercel, Netlify do it in one click, right? So Lovable and Bolt, right? All of these tools, they do it automatically, right? So that's basically how this hosting actually works, right? Which is what we'll be seeing today as we get into the build mode, right? Perfect. Now, guys, so what exactly is a vibe coding? In just one line, all that it is basically you describe what you want and the AI builds it for you. Meaning, you just say, build a landing page for a yoga studio with a booking form, and boom, it's gonna build it for you. That's how it handles. The AI, it handles the front end, back end, the database, the hosting, and it can also, use APIs as well. You just have to refine it, you update it, and then it ships, right? So that's basically where there's a loop, right? Guys, the loop is very important, trust me, because you will, once you understand this, you'll directly go ahead and, be able to build your own stuff. And guys, I understand this. In the chat, I'm seeing a lot of build pro, a lot of these pointers. I would say please give it a little bit more time, guys. It's kind of distracting to see that. I will get into the build phase, and don't spam again with I'll get into it, right? So let's wait for a couple more understanding, because there are a lot of folks, and a bit of understanding would always be helpful for everybody, right? So let's cooperate, guys. Let's understand the loop, and trust me, we will get into the build phase, but let's understand this as well. Okay, now, what is the loop right here, right? The loop here is describe, generate, test, and refine. And we will be doing this hands-on. I'll be asking you guys for ideas, and we'll be building on top of that, right? It's 4 things. Describe, generate, test, refine, right? So the way it is you describe, right? You describe it, and then the AI, it generates it, right? It generates it, and then you go ahead and test it. You test it if it's good or not, right? You kind of test it, and then there is the refinement process, right? You refine it. What does that mean? Okay, guys, this is where the prompting thing is. You describe it, the AI generates it, then you go ahead and test it, you refine it, and then you once again describe it again, right? So the refinement process is basically the feedback, right? The feedback. This is the prompt. For example, in describe, I would say, hey, can you go ahead and build me a website? And once again, guys, so everyone asking what a landing page is. Landing page is like, it's a website, right? It's just that. We give this the prompt, the AI, it does all its magic and it generates it. Then we go ahead and test the app, right? We test the app. If you don't like something, if you don't, want something, if you want to change the button, if you want to do that, we just be like, hey, can you refine this? Can you change the red button and make it more curved? That's all. This is the refinement process, and it's not just in the front end, even in the back end, right? Or how it works, everything. The refinement process. This is the loop, guys. If you understand this loop, you can go ahead and build a lot more complex projects as well, right? The reason why I'm telling you is because me as a non-coder, I was able to build something like, my own studio, right? I was able to build my own avatar studio. And guys, this I've done it with complete, just as a vibe coder. And trust me, vibe coding it's possible for any of us, right? And I built my own dashboard, something like this, with a calendar, with runs and all of that. If you actually check my YouTube, there are videos being auto published by this studio, by this AI avatar, right? And if you do want to build something like this, the fundamentals are important and you have to understand this loop, because you will be getting into the loops multiple times when you are building a complex application like this, right? Just to give you a very real example, right? I'm not just talking in the air, guys, a very real example. I'm just sharing my audio. Let me just share this, okay? A very simple thing that I built. Okay, it's taking some time to load, but it should be posted on YouTube already. But whatever you're seeing here, that's not me. That's the AI version of me just doing all that. And how was I able to get there? If the only reason I was able to get there, right? The only reason I was able to get there is by using this loop. Describe, generate, test, refine. That's it. All right. And beginners actually do this mistake where they write a massive prompt and they just let it be and they expect perfection. That's not how it is. The people who actually ship, meaning the people who actually build websites, they the ones who actually build a complex application, they use these loops 20 times in a row. The same loop, this entire loop is done over 20 times over a period of days, to build out and ship a complex application, something like an avatar studio of my own, right? So that's what it is. Right? Now, who are the builders now? Guys, can you all type it in the chat? What category do you guys all, you all fall in? Are you guys product managers? Are you guys marketers, designers, solo founders, students, lawyers, testers? Is that consultants, engineers, marketers, solo founders? Okay, real estate, okay. Students, video editors, marketers, founders, accountants, students. All right. A lot of folks, right? A lot of folks in the entire, in this entire office. So we have so many folks right here from different backgrounds. And guys, let me tell you, right? Life coach, amazing. That's pretty cool, right? Business, right? Lab scientists, freelancers, right? Manifesting for an AI generalist. I'm telling you, Shreyans, we are getting there. You definitely can be an AI generalist, right? So what it basically means is that all of you guys, right? All of you guys can build now, right? You can all build now. Product managers, marketers, designers, solo founders, students, whatever you've just typed in, freelancers, actors, banking, whatever field you come from, you can all build right now. It's possible that you guys can all do it, guys. Because, before 2026, none of these people could actually build software, right? But today, they are shipping internal tools. They're shipping dashboards. They're shipping side projects that used to require an entire engineering team as well, right? Right now, the bottleneck is no longer to be an engineer. It's just the idea itself. As if you have the idea, you can build. That's what I'm trying to say. All right, now, so what's going to be our order of learning, when we get into vibe coding? The progression is like this, okay? So there are tools like Lovable, Bolt, Replit. These tools are the first stage. The second one is Cursor, Windsurf, and Anti-Gravity. So these are the ones that, let you own the code, you build a more complex feature. These tools are build your first and third stage. There is some. You can have an entire team of coders or sub agents to work on it, right? So that's the 3 stages, right? So do not skip the stages, because the prompting skills you're building in stage 1 are the ones that you would also need in stage 2 and beyond, right? It's all about prompting, guys. I'm not saying that, hey, these other tools are going to be difficult. All I'm saying is, if you master your prompting fundamentals, the next ones would all fall in place, right? Perfect. Now, there's one category of tool for all of these levels. So for the app builders, there are tools like Lovable, Bolt, Replit, Base 44, Emergent, V0, all of these tools, right? For the app builders, these are all the tools. And for AI IDEs, meaning the second one right here, right, the stage 2, IDE is like an integrated developer environment, and there are tools like Google's own anti-gravity, there is Cursor, there is Windsor, and in the third level, it's called Agentic, which is CLI, which is a command line interface where you can use Claude Code, you can use Codex, right? So that is what these 3 levels are. So right now we would be, building our very first app using one of these tools, right? We'll be using one of these tools. I'll kind of show you how each of these, websites look like, and then we'll just be, picking a tool as well. Okay. Now, guys, we are here. We are in the build process, right? Guys, I want to ask you all this question. So everything that we've, covered and right, all the stuff that we've understood, is this clear in your heads, guys? Are all the fundamentals clear now? Yes in the chat if they are clear, guys. Yes in the chat if they are clear. All the fundamentals, everything that we've learned, we'll be diving into all of that. So perfect. Amazing. All right. Yeah. Even if there are some gaps, guys, it's okay. We'll definitely, it'll all make sense the moment we start building. Okay. Now, guys, another question. Shall we all build? Guys, type in build in the chat if you're all ready to build. Are we all ready to go ahead and build? Build. Okay, I see a lot of builders in the chat who are asking, let's go ahead and build. Perfect. All right, it's time to go ahead and build something real. And trust me, we will be building an entire application and we'll deploy it. And I'll share you the link. You can also test it out by yourself. All right. Now, guys, let me move ahead from this and let me kind of show you. All right. First, you've seen here, right? App builders. There are stuff like Lovable, Bolt, Replit, Base 44, Emergent, and V0. I just want to show you how these tools look like. Okay. Let me just try to open my website. Yeah, perfect. So there are tools like Lovable, right? This one. There's Lovable, and then there is Emergent AI, something like this. You'll see. Okay, let me go here. Yeah, you'll see a pattern, right? You're gonna see a pattern. If you type in Emergent, you'll see a pattern where there is. You type it here and you enter, right? You got to type it here, right? There's a interface for chat. The same way, let's check Base 44. You type it here, you chat with it. Let's check Replit. Replit, you type it here and you chat with it, right? You type it here, you chat with it. Now let's also check V0, right, guys? The pattern here is that all these tools, all these, the builder tools are the same. You type it here, it's all conversational. If you type it and you enter, you just go ahead and build it out. So that's what these tools are. And of course, there is Bolt.new as well, right? Bolt.new as well. There are so many of these AI tools where you type it in, you enter, and it does the thing for you. So for now, let me just go ahead and pick Lovable, because I do have, some credits in Lovable. I'm already, logged in with Lovable. So I would be using Lovable. And just to, clarify, guys, all these tools are, they're the same thing, honestly. They're all the same thing. It all depends on your preference. What tool is it that you want to use? what interface is it that you like. Totally depends on you. Why not AI Studio? Apurv Shroff, you're absolutely correct. You can do AI Studio as well, right? There are multiple of these. Google AI Studio as well. Google AI Studio as well, where you can build here too, right? There are a lot of tools, guys, right? There are a lot of tools. So for this one, let's just pick one tool and build it out. Codex also. I mean, in fact, I do have Codex building it, but keep in mind, Codex is more of an agentic one. Right now, we are using the app builder, right? So let's go ahead and pick Lovable for now, guys, okay? Let's go ahead and pick Lovable. And let's go ahead and build it here. All right. Now, let me, get pointers and ideas from. Okay, Sachin, my charge is going down so fast. Okay, guys, okay, you know what? Just give me a second. I'm just gonna get my charger. Sachin, you're actually right. I have an agent working on right now, which is consuming my charge. Just a second. All right. I'm back. You are right, Sachin. Thank you for that. I'm putting the charger back in. Okay, perfect. Now, all right, guys. Let's go ahead and build things out, okay? Now, what do we want to do? I mean, we can do a very simple landing page. Okay, if someone says build a SaaS app. Okay, SaaS app, do we want to do like a CRM dashboard, guys? What do you guys think? Do you want to do a CRM? CRM, like an analytics tool, which is going to be a real SaaS dashboard, which, you guys can actually understand, you guys can build yourself, and you can, sell it as well. You can kind of sell it, you can monetize it. Okay, SaaS app, SaaS application, a CRM, a customer relationship tool, fintech. Okay, someone says fintech. CRM, okay, CRM dashboard. I see a lot of CRM dashboard. Okay, and edtech, okay, a CRM. Okay, a lot of CRM and a SaaS. The SaaS just stands for software as a service. So a CRM is definitely a software as a service as well. A healthcare SaaS. Okay, school management project performance dashboard. Okay, Sri Lakshmi has given us an idea. Sri Lakshmi says project performance dashboard. Okay. A POS system, a CRM dashboard. Fintech with payment gateway. Okay, telecom CRM. Lot of ideas here. Okay, you know what? Let's pick this. Okay, let's pick up an entire CRM. Let's go, guys. Actually, it's gonna be a difficult build though, because a CRM is like a tool, which is an entire dashboard. It used to take years for people to build it. So let's try to do it though. CRM is like a challenge, I would say, because Lovable can quickly pull off a very simple website. But let's take the challenge and let's go ahead and add an AI agent chatbot, like Yash mentions, Yash and Devesh mentioned. Let's have an AI agent chatbot also. This AI agent chatbot, let's have this chatbot somewhere in the right side part. That's what I want to create. Help me create this entire dashboard. It has to be a very nice production grade CRM, a customer relationship dashboard is what I want to create. Task management and a CRM is what I want to create.